Yesterday, we were able to discuss the trends. We were able to discuss the trends in the periods. We were now going to discuss the trends in the groups, down the group. What are the trends? How the properties and how the physical characteristics of atoms, elements change if you go down the group, right? This is what we are discussing. If you go down the group, like we were discussing elements of group one, even though we have to discuss in detail the, the elements of group one, but just to keep it get an idea how generally how what is the trend for group trend of group one element, just to get an idea. So down the group, what is going on down the group? Basically, down the group, if you go down the group for metals or non-metals, the atomic size is always going to increase, right? If you go down the group, the atomic size will increase. If you go down the group, the atomic size is going to increase. Why? Because the numbers of shells are increasing, right? Because the number of shells are increasing. Similarly, if you go down the group, the atomic radii, which is also just as the size. Atomic radii is basically the distance from the nucleus up to the last shell. This is the atomic radii, right? This is the atomic radii. This is the atomic radii. Do you understand? This is the whole atomic size, but this is the atomic radii or radius, right? The diameter is the whole size basically of the atom, but this is same. This is the same thing. If the radius increases, it means the diameter or the size is increasing. Is this clear? We are revising what we
Yes,
did
sir.
yesterday. For metals, down the group, the metallic property and reactivity increases. Remember, for metals, we said that if you go down the group, the metallic property increases. If you go down the group for metals, the reactivity and the metallic property increases. If you go down the group for non-metals, like for non-metals, down the group, reactivity decreases. You have to keep this in mind, okay? If you go down the group, if you go down the group, the metallic property increases for all of them, for metals and non-metals. So if you go down the group, the metals become more reactive. And if you go down the group for the non-metals like group 5, group 6, group 7, group 8, if you go down the group for these groups, for the non-metals, down the group, the reactivity decreases. You have to keep these things in mind. They're very important, okay? Is this clear?
Yes.
All right. So generally, when you talk about it, going down the group, another point that we would want to add over here is going down the group. Down the group, generally, chemical properties remain remain same, okay? Like elements, in same group, elements in game same group generally have same chemical properties, like making bonds and all of that, the bonds. All right, down the group, physical properties these change. All right. Is this clear? We are going to go into
Yes.
detail of each of the group, then we'll talk about it. Inshallah, when right now after this, we are going to be discussing group 1 elements, group 7 elements. So when we are discussing group 1 elements, because group 1 elements are the best of the metals, right? They are on the leftmost. So if you talk about group 1 elements, group 1, group 7, group 7 elements are best of the non-metals, right? Group 1 elements are best metals because they are the extreme, they're the first one, they're in the first group, and group 7 elements are in the 7th group. After that, there is no reactivity in group 8 elements. So that is why we do not really consider talking about them. So the metallic property was what? Metallic property was to lose an electron. So if you go down the group, metallic property increases. This means that the element which is at the end of the group 1 is the most perfect metal, right? Do you get this point, Alijba, Eileen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we know that when you go up the group, metallic, non-metallic property increases, right? Right? If you go up the group for the non-metals, we're talking about the non-metals. The non-metallic property increases. This means that the metal that is over here, the element that is over here is the best non-metal, right? Which is fluorine. So you can say the fluorine is actually the profits of non-metals because this is the best non-metal. This is the best non-metal, okay? You get it? We do not consider group 8 elements because they do not give or take electrons. So they do not have this metallic or non-metallic property. Do you understand? Non-metallic
Yes, sir.
property is what? The ability to gain an electron. The best who can gain an electron are the best of the non-metals. You get it?
Yes, sir.
So the elements in the same group, they have same chemical properties, but down the group, their physical properties can change, like density and all of that. Okay, melting points, densities, and all of that. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have you guys written all of this?
No.
No.
Okay. Would you like to write? From where?
Yeah.
Yes.
From where, Alishba? All right. Let's move to group 1 elements. A very important topic. There are a lot of questions, especially MCQs. Group 1 elements. So you can see group when we talk about group 1 elements, a few things that definitely that immediately automatically come to your mind. First of all, they're going to be having only one valence electron in their outermost shell. Second, the first thing that might come into your mind by looking at the group one valence electron, right? Valence electron means the electron that is present in the valence shell. They will, the charge that they will get is going to be 1 plus, right? And the third thing that should come to your mind is their metals, right? The fourth thing that should come, the fourth thing that should come to your mind is that they form basic oxides, basic oxides, and they are also called as alkali metals. See, they are called alkali metals, and alkali metal means that their oxides are going to be soluble, right? These are the things that should immediately click into your mind the moment you get to know about group 1 elements. So now, so group 1 elements, we have lithium, sodium, we have potassium, right? The first three of them are the ones that are called alkali metals, all right? They react with water and they react with water and form alkalis, and their oxides are also soluble. And we have already learned that the elements of same group are supposed to have same chemical properties, right? So that is why they have similar physical and chemical properties. Is this clear? There are more elements. Potassium,
Yes.
rubidium is there, all right? And generally, you don't need to go further from there. Potassium, rubidium, there are more. I'll write about them. There are more, but generally, they are the ones. Rubidium, we have caesium, which is Cs. Then we have francium, Fr, francium, francium, Cm. All right. So these are the alkali metals. Now let's look at the physical the properties. So basically, alkali metals or you can say group 1 elements, they are metals. Secondly, they are soft. They can easily be cut. They can easily be cut. All right. When they are cut, have shiny inside surface, shiny slash silvery, so inside surface. All right. So if you cut it, once you have cut it, if you look at it, you will see that inside is the shiny silvery surface, and it rapidly goes away. It tarnishes, it goes away. That shiny does not remain shiny anymore because they rapidly react with air. Okay, they rapidly react with air. The shiny surface tarnishes, tarnishes, tarnishes means this shiny appearance goes away, uh, because they react with air. All right. And then we have alkali metals have low melting and boiling point. They have low melting and boiling 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 point. All right, they have low melting and boiling points. All right,
Yes.
melting and boiling points and boiling points decrease down the group. Melting and boiling point decreases down the group. Do you understand? This melting and boiling point decreases down the group. Why? Due to weakening of the electrostatic force between the ions. Why? We know the metals, they have metallic bonding, right? They have
Yes.
metallic bonding.
Valid bonding.
Right? So the melting and boiling point decreases down the group. Second more important point is that they have low densities. They have low densities. Density increases down the group due to increase in the mass, right? Why is the mass increasing? Why is the mass increasing? Because there is an increasing number of shells and protons and neutrons, right? Protons and neutrons, right? The number of protons, neutrons, and the number of shells is increasing. So the mass of an atom is increasing. That is why their density is increasing down the group. As you go down the group, their density is increasing, right? You understand this point? If you look at it, lithium is 7, sodium is 23, potassium is 39, rubidium is 37, caesium is 133. You see that the atomic mass is increasing, which means there's an increase in the size and the number of protons and neutrons, right? This number is represented by protons plus neutrons. So it is increasing. Number of proton and neutrons are increasing. That is why the size, the mass is increasing. What else is increasing? If you go down the group, this is period, period, period. This is 3, 2, 4, 5, 6. As you're going down, number of shells are increasing. So proton number is increasing, plus neutron number is increasing, plus shells are increasing. So all of this altogether increases mass and size, which increases mass and size. Mass and size is increasing, which is increasing the density. You understand this point?
Yes.
So how can we predict? How can we predict a melting point and the density and the size by knowing them, right? As you go, we know as you go down the group, the size and the mass increases.
Yes.
And as you go down the group, so what is going on in group 1 elements? If you're going down, what is increasing? Mass